What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo. In the previous video, I showed you guys what Iron Man could do with a brilliant CTP of destruction. It was actually pretty damn insane. I mean, doing stage 39 with my account in 4 minutes is pretty awesome. That's actually quite nuts that he could do that, and that's an 800 CCF character. Now, here we have a native tier 2 character, the Maker, a character that I actually forgot how strong he really was, or how strong he really is. He's actually quite powerful. I actually did a test run with this character with a regular CTP of energy. Now, something about like whenever I was doing Iron Man and the Maker is, of course, my cards. This is the thing that really affects my characters, because my physical attack just isn't the same as my energy attack. My physical attack is only 77%, whereas my energy attack is just, it's through the roof. We got 106, then we got the 20% energy attack proc, so it's 126% energy attack. That is a huge difference. 126% versus 77%. That's a huge difference between my energy and physical attack. But having said that, the Maker, even with a regular CTP of energy, no mighty, nothing like that, actually could almost do stage 39. Now, guys, I'll show you guys a little bit of that run just to show you the kind of damage he could do. It really surprised the hell out of me. And it was after that, when I tested him, I thought, man, what could he do with a brilliant? I mean, if he can do that well with a CTP of energy on my account, but 77% physical attack, how well could he do with a brilliant CTP of destruction? And just like Iron Man, the brilliant CTP of destruction addresses some of the problems that the Maker has, like the immunity to guard break. Maker has no invincibility other than his tier 3, just like Iron Man. This is the only place he has invincibility, so that's the only place he's getting super armor from. He has no super armor in his kit other than that, which is a real bummer, man. It was something that, I mean, he had invincibility in his previous uniform, but they took it away and they gave him a nice giant attack buff instead on his third skill. But he gets guard broken a lot. And every time you get guard broken, once you start going into your skills, you get guard broken, you lose a lot of damage, because your skills getting completely interrupted, and that really sucks. And I played with him for quite some time last night, trying to figure out a really solid rotation for him, because when I was playing with the CTP of energy, I just wasn't happy with the damage output. Now, with the CTP of energy, I did have about 40% ignore dodge, and along with the ignore dodge from his fifth skill, that's 80% ignore dodge. So that is one thing that's really awesome about the Maker, is that he does have this ignore dodge in his fifth skill, but he also has ignore dodge on his tier 3, which is awesome. So every time I would do the tier 3 using the CTP of energy, I'd have max ignore dodge easily, and I would still have 80% ignore dodge with the CTP of energy from his fifth skills ignore dodge and the CTP of energy ignore dodge combined. And I practiced quite a bit with this guy, trying to work out a solid rotation. So this is the rotation that I worked out for this guy, so that way you can use your tier 3 every other rotation, and it actually works out amazingly. So you can actually cancel his 2, 1, 3, and 4 immediately, but you don't want to cancel the 4 too fast. You actually want to delay it, because you'll get a lot of residual damage from these little bobbleheads that are going to come out. At least that's what I'm going to call them, before you go into your fifth skill, where you actually want to land your damage proc. So it's literally 2, 1, 3, 4, slam down, and once he hits the ground, then go into your fifth skill. Once that ball drops the second time, hit your 2 and the 1 really quick. Okay, so you'll do 2, 1, 3, 4, delay the 4 a little bit, go into the 5, and then once the bobblehead drops, or once the ball drops the second time, hit your 2 and your 1. After you do that, and the cool thing about this guy is he also has a long cooldown. So you actually do build up that meter for the brilliant CTP of destruction, which is pretty cool, or even a mighty CTP of destruction. But after that, then you want to go 2, 1, 3, 4, slam down, and then the tier 3. Now look what's happening here. I can't hit my tier 3, right? And you're probably wondering, well, how in the hell, I mean, if you're hitting how can you do this rotation if you can't go into your tier 3 immediately? Because if you don't hit that tier 3 very quickly after you hit that 4, because the 4, then bobbleheads are going to come out and start shooting those little rays, and that will set off the proc. So you're probably wondering, well, how do I deal with that? Well, that was something I had to kind of figure out. And actually what you got to do is you got to play the Maker like you do, say, someone like the Black Order characters, like Black Dwarf, Supergiant. You got to pin yourself up in a corner, and then have the opponent next to him, right? So when Null's coming towards him, as long as he's in the corner, and you hit the 2, 1, 3, 4, delay, and then go into your tier 3, you'll be able to go into your tier 3 immediately. Otherwise, you'll just have to cancel from the 4 into the tier 3. So, but you really want that residual damage from the 4, because if you don't, you won't do near as much damage. There is a huge difference. Just to give you guys an idea of the difference between having the 4's residual damage involved with the tier 3 and not having it, it shaved off about 45 seconds on my time against Null at stage 39 by making sure that that 4 was engaged, by making sure that I got the residual damage. So when I put myself in a corner and put myself against the edge of the field, so to speak, and Null's getting near him, then I could always get the residual damage from the 4 along with doing the tier 3 at the same time. It made a huge difference. You guys will see exactly how I do the run, and he does have a fully awakened power bringer hawk. So I mean, he's got a good build. Here's the brilliant CTP of destruction. The first run I'll show you guys was with the regular CTP of energy, just so you can see just how strong this guy is, just even with the regular CTP of energy. But you're also going to see his faults. He does have a mythic uniform, so I mean, I got some love in this guy, and there's his uniform options. I'm missing the last one there, and his uniform effect does give him the increase all attack by 35%. As far as Urus, he does have mythic physical attack Urus, and then he's got, let me see here, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Odin's Blessings, I believe. So he's built pretty well, man. He's built a lot like Iron Man, except that he has a lot less physical attack because my cards don't have near as much physical attack as energy attack. So let me go ahead and bring up that run for you guys, all right? And you guys can see, this is with the CTP of energy, all right? And you're going to notice right away that he's going to get guard broken quickly. So there's 2, 1, 3, 4, slam down, and hit the 5. Now, in the first part of the phase, I'm going to go ahead and pause it. In the first part of the phase, this first phase, you know, you don't have to worry about, you know, you can always delay the 4, but you don't have to worry about canceling the 4 immediately because Null is right in front of you. You don't have to, like, whenever you hit the tier 3, you can just do the 2, 1, 3, 4, delay it, and then go into tier 3, and you'll see how that works out, right? And we're going to try to avoid this. Now we're going to hit 2, 1, 3, 4, slam down, and then tier 3, right? And we're getting the attack buff from the 4, we're getting the attack buff from the 3, and he's got max ignore dodge every time he does that tier 3, right? I mean, and you can see already that the proc rotation works out really well. And look at the damage he does when he doesn't get guard broken. See, he does really good damage when he does get guard broken. It's not off the charts. I kind of screwed up there, but I still got my proc landed where it belongs. This was early on when I was practicing with Mr. Fantastic. But, I mean, as you guys can see, the rotation works out really well. I mean, he's doing about 1.5 bars of damage with his fifth skill, as long as he doesn't get guard broken. Obviously, with the Brilliant, he's going to do more damage, but it's not terrible, right? It's not terrible, especially when he hits the tier 3. Like, look how many bars he does. So we was at the middle of the 46, so he did about 5 bars of damage right there. It's not bad. It's not bad, right? And right now, he's on pace to actually do a clear against stage 39, you know, with the CTP of energy. And I wanted to show you all this first because, one, I wanted to show you kind of a comparison between having the Brilliant on him versus the CTP of energy, a regular CTP of energy, but also just so you can see just how strong the Maker is just in general, just, you know, just how powerful the character is because, you know, I even, you know, really forgot how strong he is. I mean, he's got some pep, man. He's got some pep. Now, generally, you want to do the first phase against Null in 1 minute and 30 seconds. And we were a little bit behind, right? You know, so it's, you know, 3 minutes and 13. So it's a little bit behind what we really want, 17 seconds behind. But still, that's a lot of damn power. That's a lot of power for this character, especially considering, I mean, I know I have 77% physical attack, and I know that's a lot to some of you out there. But whenever you start getting any stage 39s like this, it's not really that much. You're going to want a whole lot more, even when you do have 25% pierce like me. I mean, you need a lot. And that's pretty damn impressive that he was able to do that. But we're going to show you a run now with the Brilliant CTP of destruction, right? And we got that, you know, huge increase of boss type by 200%. We have a damage proc by 230%. And this character plays super well with the proc. So, like, you don't really miss your procs at all. And you can combine the damage proc and increase the boss types all at the same time. Also, because his skills cancel so fast, you're able to get most of the strike proc from the Brilliant CTP of Destruction. You'll get at least 4 seconds of that duration. You won't get the entire 5 seconds, but you'll get about 4 seconds of the duration, which is pretty damn good. You'll get that increase to boss types for at least 4 seconds, which is nice. But, I mean, you guys can obviously see there's a pretty big difference between the Brilliant CTP of Destruction and the CTP of Energy. But, and again, the Brilliant, you know, we have max ignore dodge every time that proc is built up. Now, it's a good thing that Mr. Fantastic has a heal from his passive. I mean, he's got a nice little heal from his passive. But, I mean, look at the damage, guys. I mean, he's putting it out. And the first time I did this, I mean, my run really wasn't that good. Like, at the end of it, I had like 20 seconds left. And it's because of what I was talking about with the force skill earlier. You really want to try to involve that force skill as much as possible. Now here I'm just doing 3, 4, 5 because I don't want to use my tier 3. The tier 3 has ignore iframe on it, and you'll see me use that here in a second. So we can do a lot of damage to null early on. Right? Now look at that. Right? You know, it was like 3 minutes and 38 seconds. So, I mean, quite a bit faster than with this CTP of energy. I mean, what are you looking at? You're looking at, you know, 23 seconds difference here. About 23 seconds difference between the brilliant CTP of destruction and CTP of energy. That's a lot. Just in the first phase, that's a lot. Now we have our tier 3 ready to go. And we're just going to hit that 3, 4, and then I just cancel straight into the tier 3. Because if you let that 4 jump back, you won't be able to go in your tier 3 immediately. So that's why I canceled the 4 immediately right there. But every chance I get, I try to use the 4 and try to pin myself up against a corner, like what we do with Black Dwarf's Awaken skill or Supergiant's Awaken skill. That way I could use that 4 skill and get all that residual damage from it. And you'll see me do that here in the next phase. Ooh. I mean, it really does get rough up in here because you die so easy. And I don't want to use my tier 3 right now. I mean, we didn't need to at all. Honestly, man, immunity and guard break is really awesome on this character. You should have immunity guard break on Maker no matter what, in my opinion. So watch what I do. I'm going to pin myself up against the corner here. We're going to hit the 3, 4. That way we can land, right? And now we're going to get the bobbleheads up. And look at the damage he's doing, right? You'll get way more if you pin yourself up against the wall using this rotation. I mean, one, you'll get to do the tier 3 more often, but also you're going to get so much more residual damage and so much more damage from involving that 4 as long as you pin yourself up against the corner. It makes a big difference. It really does. Like I said earlier, you know, when I did this and I was just canceling the 4, right? Just cancel the 4 into the tier 3, like what I did with the previous phase against Null there, I was doing less damage. You know, the tier 3 by itself is really strong with the attack plus from the 4 and the 3, but when you have those little bobbleheads up from that 4, it makes a huge difference in the amount of power that he delivers. A huge difference. It's really unbelievable. And like I said, I mean, the first time I did this, and I wasn't doing what I just did just now, right there, where I pinned myself up in corner and used that 4, I mean, I had like 20 seconds left against Null. Look at the time he's doing right now. We're at 1:50, and we got 6 bars left to go. That's a huge, huge difference. So whenever you're playing Maker, no matter what obelisk you have on him, you really should be trying to pin yourself up in a corner when you're using the 4. If you're trying to use this rotation, you're trying to use that tier 3 more often. And you'll see me do it here as well. So I'll do the 2, 1, 3, 4, slam down, hit the 5, right? Because the 5 is going to shoot you forward. And then I'll hit the 2, 1 again. And now we're going to wait. We're going to build up the proc. And we're going to go 2, 1, 3, 4. We're going to get behind him so we're pinned up against the wall. And then the tier 3, right? And we got the little bobbleheads up. And boom. Look at that, guys. We have 1 minute and 18 seconds left. And this is on an account with, you know, much less energy attack than... or much less physical attack than energy attack. I mean, that is an amazing time. Maker is godly strong with the brilliant CTP of destruction, and I do think he is an amazing candidate for a mighty CTP of destruction. I mean, I think I'm going to do the same thing with him as what I'm going to do with Iron Man. I think having a mighty CTP of destruction, because let's be honest, I mean, most people aren't going to have a brilliant lying around. They're extremely hard to come by, but a mighty is, you know, a much easier to get. Usually you can just re-roll or reforge the CTP one time, and hopefully you can get a mighty CTP of destruction. And yeah, I mean, it's just the right obelisk on him. And that mighty CTP of destruction would do more damage than a regular CTP of energy because, one, you're not going to get guard broken. It's just going to allow you to do more damage throughout the fight. And Maker is actually super proc friendly as long as you're playing him the way that I'm showing you. I mean, he's pretty damn godly with this thing. And at first, I kind of regretted putting the brilliant on him because I was like, man, we only had 20 seconds left against World Boss Null with a brilliant CTP of destruction. What is going on? What am I doing wrong, right? And I played him for a good couple hours, you know, working on it and working on his rotations and working on what I need to do. And honestly, you know, the way that I did the rotation, you know, 2, 1, 3, 4, delay 5, and then the second time the ball hits the ground, 2, 1, then build up your proc, or just you know, get ready for your next cooldowns, and then go 2, 1, 3, 4, delay, tier 3. And if you're in an open field, you need to delay the 4 whenever you're pinned up against the wall between you and null or the opponent that you're actually facing, so that way you can get the residual damage from the 4 along with the tier 3. But if you play him that way, he's pretty damn godly, as you guys just saw. I mean, that's insane to do stage 39 in 3 minutes and 40 seconds. That's actually pretty awesome. And I actually did a run where I did it in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I just wasn't recording, which is pretty nuts, man. Maker is godly, and he should be, man. You know, it's pretty awesome that the uniform, as old as it is still so strong. And like I said, you guys saw what he could do with a CTP of energy. Still pretty damn powerful, just not quite powerful enough, because one, he's just going to get guard broken a whole lot, and it can be very, very annoying, and you lose a lot of damage. And having that increase of boss types just makes the world of difference, along with the damage proc from your mighty CTP of destruction, or obviously the brilliant CTP of destruction. So let me know what y'all think about the Maker destroying stage 39. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year, everyone. Bye-bye.